Man, what's wrong with my pictures? I don't get that. Something's going on. Wait, that's not good. Oh man, what did I do? Why is there? Hey, streaming. So just trying to just get a few minutes, I guess. 7:30 here in Osaka, Osaka, where I live. So yeah, just trying to do some stuff here. Um, Had a long weekend, lots of study, lots of all kinds of stuff, and trying to get organized with to play basketball. Well, school's at 9:30, so probably trying to do an hour of blah blah. Uh, yeah. So here we are. I'm just, man, I get frustrated with these pictures. I'm trying to put slideshows here, but oh, the pictures are crooked. It's like, how did that happen? May have to redo the whole thing. So same with this one. This one was okay, but some of them are. So I don't know why. I can. Oh, and I got to do this. I got to do the chat. So let me close this up. I got to look at the do. I got to connect the chat right here. So chat is right here. So I go here. Go channel. Okay, so now I'm gonna go manage videos, and then I gotta go to studio. The studio. So yeah. So sorry for the delete live. So I'm right here actually. But anyways, so I'm gonna go here, studio, and then how do I do this again? That's the fun part, remembering all this stuff. Uh, so I'm here, the chat here. So if I remember, I go like this. I have to do pop-up chart. That's right. And I gotta do live chat. Live chat. There we go. And then I gotta copy, copy the link. And then I gotta go here, and I gotta do properties, and I gotta do this, and I gotta do paste, and I do OK. And it should be here. There it is. And browser video. So here we go. There's a chat so I can see it. No, it's great. And like that. Go up a little bit in size and let's see if it works. So if I go good day to, is it working? Let's see if it connects. Yes. Okay, so here we are. Yeah, well, work in progress, right? So, and I gotta close this out. I think that'll work, and that's it. So, yeah. So I'm trying to figure this out. Uh, like I say, work in progress. Like I say 60 there, but now I'll be 61 in a couple of weeks, so that's not gonna be. I'm gonna have to change that, or I leave it like that, or whatever. So yeah, picture stuff. So what happened? So some pictures are okay, and some pictures are sideways. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, I'm not too sure because yeah, some of them are okay. This is okay. Why? That one's okay. That's weird. I wonder if I can. No, but yeah, that one's crooked. And that's not good. So, and if I go here, okay, so that's okay. So this did a countryside again. That one's crooked. Uh, I'm always learning something. Always learning something, right? So you're trying to figure, yeah. So yesterday I did some basketball. Yeah, all the pictures are crooked again. I just redid it. Thought it was working. Okay, so that's no good. So if I go to the videos, though, let's just go here. Let's go here. To videos. So I want to see how that works. So if I just put let's put a drone video. Okay, yeah, now. Okay, so I gotta go here. I gotta go here. I'm curious about the sound now. Oh, come on. Okay. I can't use this, so I have to use a different format. Open with. Let's try that one. Yes, I got new camera and stuff, and what happened is that I guess the video player here is not saying. Yeah, this one doesn't work either. So extensions there. Okay, so I'll just go with this one. Usually works on this one. Okay, move that. Learning progress. Yeah, trying to see. Yeah, it's kind of drone videos. Just playing around. It's not, they're not easy, right? Flying drones is not easy. I mean, it's Japan and I don't fly it in the city, so I fly it in the countryside. This is in one of the village I like to go to, and this is an abandoned ski hill. There's a lot of abandoned ski hills where they don't have enough snow anymore. So there's literally, I wouldn't be kidding, hundreds and hundreds of them that are just grass fields. They don't have enough snow. The equipment's still there, still works, but there's, I mean, Jimmy's trying to do some trails and stuff, trying to promote the stuff so he can, have people come over. But the problem that he's encountering is first, there's not a lot of places to stay, right? There's no, how do you call, lodging is difficult in villages, right? There's not a lot of Airbnbs, and the few that are there are expensive. And so it's hard to bring in people, right? There's no major hotels or anything like that. So they are trying to rejuvenate these areas, but uh, there's just so much to be done. Yeah, you can have a nice area to do stuff, but if you don't have the parking to put people, they're not going to come, right? Most of these villages have like two restaurants. Some of them don't even have a coffee shop, so it's hard for to get anything done, right? So you have these beautiful ski hills abandoned everywhere, but you don't have the infrastructure to bring people, right? So there's literally hundreds of ski hills like this, some bigger than others that are just abandoned, you know, and because they don't have the snow, right? And they don't have the people. So on top of that, it's kind of like a declining country, right? That's what you're at. You're seeing a decline in the country, and you're going to need tens of millions of people to rejuvenate these hills all over the country. It's beautiful, stunning, right? It's quiet. There's nobody out there. You can be trekking in Japan, and you're not going to meet anybody. Most people just move to the countryside, right? So let's see here. Trying to do other ones. So different, still videos of drones and stuff, and I'm just playing around. So it's a little different. So yeah, this is Oz. He's like 14 flying it, so he's just playing around, trying. He's getting all excited and figure this out. So yeah, it gets a little dizzy. It's not my cup of tea. And yeah, I'll close that one now. It's kind of dizzy. So I try to do. I don't know where mines are, but they're definitely. I got different videos and stuff. So yeah, this is Oz again. He tries to go too fast. So no, wrong one. Yeah, I always get the wrong. There we go. So here we go. Yeah, and this is like me, so I'm trying to slowly figure this out, trying to work the gimbal and stuff. And but you get to see the countryside, right? It's like stunning. Okay, Joyce, what do you through? Yeah, just adjusting slowly. Just me flying. Yeah, just trying to work the real soft turns and stuff. It's not. It's easier said than done, right? Yeah. When you're flying it, you can go, oh yeah, this is great view and it's fun and all that. But then when you put it on the video, you're like, what the hell? You know, it's all over the place and it's jerky and it's too fast. You're turning too fast. So I was just trying to practice on doing this kind of stuff, right? So that's the part that's fun is you get to, how do you say, it, being like gentle on the on the controls, so you can have a good film or a good good scenery. Like this works out pretty good, but it takes a long time to get that, and then then you're trying to work the shots. The thing with this one is you can't do waypoints, so I can't go out there and program advance and do stuff. So I have to, like you say, it's real fast. It's like whoa, so it's not fun to watch. So this is better. Still a little too fast on the turn, right? So yeah, because it's like literally you just do this, right? You just do a little thing like this, and the whole thing spins. So it's nice to be able to. It's an action camera, right? So it's made for action. I like the other drone better for filming because then you can do the waypoints and control the speed and program it, and it'll do a pattern, right? But this is different. So this is more action, so it's good for outdoor sports. You know, uh, you can do concerts and things like that, or basically just like following people on bikes or on canoes or boats, playing sports, that kind of stuff. So it's more an action camera and skiing, all that kind of stuff. So there's so many things you could do with this camera, but it's an action camera mostly. That's what I look these drones as. Yeah, you can look at scenery and stuff, definitely for scenery. But I think the scenery is filmed better with the other drones, so because you do the waypoints and you can, slowly, you know, control the speed, yeah, altitude, and all that. So it's smooth. You get a nice smooth filming. This, there's a lot of editing to be done after a while. You do this, you're like, there's too much stuff in here to be cut anyway. So it's okay, but it's not great. These are okay, and then you jerk too much, right? Anyways, so there you go, countryside of Japan, abandoned ski hills. There's a lot of that here. There's a lot of abandoned warehouses, businesses, you name it is here. And it's not just a few, right? It's thousands and thousands of businesses that are abandoned everywhere. Wherever you go in the countryside, see a lot of aquaculture farms that are abandoned, farms that are abandoned, houses, warehouses, business, restaurants. Uh, yeah, Japan is not in a great shape, right? It's they're trying, but the big thing for them is they need to find a way to bring people, but it's not. It's more than that, right? It's going to be more than that. It's going to be like trying to bring new blood, right? New blood, new ideas, and when you look at like if I look at like one of the things that people try to understand is that the people that are going to get Japan out of the hole are going to be the young generation, right? The problem is when you look at uh, uh, let's see, there you go, right? So let's look at that. trying to see. All right, here you go. So let's shrink that a little bit. Uh, so you guys, a lot of people don't understand what's happening to Japan. So yeah, they don't have enough birth. Yeah, that's great. That's one thing. But everything that comes to it is what's happening, right? So they say the majority of the population is at 65, right? 65 years old. I don't know. It's something like 60%, some crazy number, right? So this 65 and up is massive, this whole thing there on average. So the blue areas, and then so there's a little bit more women than men, women live a little longer, but that doesn't really matter. So this chunk there, this center chunk, is basically the older people, right? It's like 49, 50, and then there's a huge peak in the 50s, and then there's massive amounts of people. But what the problem they're having is they don't have enough young people, right? So it's doing this, right? So let's say they're voting, right? Well, the young people will have to be, how do you say, the old people, there's more old people voting by a lot. And so the young people's voice doesn't get to be heard, right? And that's the problem. And then the they also the older generation is taking most of the resources, right? They're the one that are older, that need more care, health care, everything, right? And they're set in their ways, and so it's hard to change. And so they have a massive amount of people. There's a dominating country. There's old people everywhere, right? And so those people, when they're going, their businesses are going, everything's going. So it's hard for the young generation to take over because the old people population is still running the country. They're the one voting, and the young people almost probably don't vote much or don't see the future. So, but they're the young generation is the generation that has the ideas and the energy, right? The young people have the energy, the idea, the innovation, the risk taking stuff like that. The old generation doesn't want to take risk, right? They're status quo, can take it easy, that's it's not broken, don't fix it. But there's the country, right? So it's they're not in a good place, right? So yeah, so that's why you see, yeah, they talk about the houses, they're cheap. Yeah, houses are cheap because there's a million people dying every year, right? There's a million people leaving. They're not coming back, right? A million people speaking Japanese, they're leaving. They're never going to speak Japanese again. So their language is, everything's going down, right? And they're trying real hard to teach English, Japanese to people like me and other people, but it's hard. It's really, really hard, right? It's a hard language. I mean, I was born here. I don't understand half the stuff. Uh, so, yeah, it's a nice challenge, right? So it doesn't mean there's no opportunity. It just means that, you have to deal with this stuff, right? Old buildings, old everything. Yeah, you could buy a house, you could buy a building, you could buy a warehouse, you could do a lot of stuff. It's just you don't have the people, right? I'd love to go buy a farm in the countryside, but what the hell am I going to do over there when there's five neighbors? That's it, and no coffee shop or, yeah, the internet works, train works, and things like that, but it's hard to start anything and do something in a declining population. And the young people don't want to stay in the villages because it's boring, right? They don't want to do the farming. They want to go out the city or explore the world and yeah, they don't have the money to leave the country, but they do. They have the possibility to go live in a city, right? So yeah, yeah. I figured slides are all messed up. Anyways, uh, yeah. So there's a lot of things that are good. They have an interesting culture and they have a lot of things going on, but it's not an easy it's they have a lot of challenge ahead of themselves, and they're very protective, so it's hard to integrate. I can't, I tried, it's hard to integrate in that country. And even though you do speak the language and you follow the rules and all that kind of stuff, they see you as an outsider no matter what you do, right? So very hard to make friends, right? It's an island culture. That's the way you have to look at it, right? And an island culture. They've been living on an island for so long, and they're not used to exchange of ideas, exchange of cultures, and stuff like that. It's very different than a place like even U.S. or Canada or China. Even China is surrounded with many different countries, so they get influx of different cultures that mix with them, right? And Japan doesn't have that. Right? It's Japan and the ocean, so they love to take stuff, but and then they tweak it to what they want and need it, and then they brand it China Japanese, right? And so it's a different world. That's all. And I'm trying to find a way to see if I can make something here, right? There's a Hiroko, friend from the village. She's got a couple of kids and stuff like that. These are native flowers, whatever, and then they make gardens out of them. Yeah, you meet all kinds of interesting people. Yeah, there's a ton of knowledge. There's definitely a ton of knowledge out there. Just it's hard to access, right? Because it's a hard language, right? I can talk all day about this stuff here, or I can talk all day about basketball or my fish stuff or traveling or my kids. But to get to talk about that in Japanese, it's going to take a lifetime, right? Because I don't have the vocabulary, I don't have the know-how to say this stuff, and that's where the challenge is, right? You want to be able to help them with the knowledge that you have and your expertise in the fish farming or basketball training or things like that. But if you can't express it in Japanese, you just it's not going anywhere, right? You can do a little bit, but not a lot. So that's what I'm trying. I'm trying to see if Japanese can be incorporated in my lifestyle, and I'll give it a year. I signed up for an extra year, so an extra year. I signed up for a year, and then tuition's. What I'm saying is tuition's paid for the year. I just got to find a way to make a living here right now, a little bit, because I don't have income coming in right now. I'm living off savings and stuff like that. Trying to sell my property in the U.S., but uh, market's not very good. So, anyways, right? So, it'd be nice to just find a little part-time job. That's been difficult. I've been looking for like 2 months now, and yeah, you get lots of interviews, lots of application, but then you know, there's a flat out no. Right? So it's they don't like to hire foreigners, right? They just don't. There's a lot of issues in the country that need to be solved. And I know that if I was in Tokyo, it'd probably work better. A lot of my guys told me that Tokyo would be better, but I can't move to Tokyo. And people say, why not? And it's that this is the crazy part. So the school that I go to, Human Academy of the Japanese language school, in Osaka, their main campus is in Tokyo. And I was thinking about going to Tokyo, but I'm like, it's a little big. Let me go to Osaka. And I knew a couple of people in Osaka. So I decided to go to Osaka. So I didn't think about it, just got the visa. Yeah, upside down pictures. I can't figure this out. Why is my slide like that? I might have to, how do we, anyway, I'll have to search on that. So they have a school. Their main campus is in Tokyo. And I decided to go to their newer campus, which is like 3 or 4 years here in Osaka, right? Closer to the villages that I like and stuff like that. So no big deal. But then when I look for jobs, they say it's really hard to get jobs here because they don't have the infrastructure set up for foreigners yet. They're just starting, right? Tokyo has been set up a lot. So I get a lot of job offers for sure in Tokyo, but I don't get anything here. And they say it's because Tokyo is much more established for hiring foreigners, right? But most of the other countries like Hiroshima or Kyoto, it's a lot harder for foreigners to get jobs, right? They don't have the infrastructure as much. Anyways, so I said, okay, great. So I'll change. I'll go to school in Osaka and Tokyo, in Kyoto. And they said, you can't. I says, why? Is because the visa was issued by the Osaka prefecture. So basically, I can't move to Tokyo. And I said, what? It's a Japanese. And they said, no, it doesn't work that way. So you got the visa from Osaka. So if you want to move to Tokyo, you have to leave the country. Well, void this visa, close your books on everything here, your residence card, everything, right? And then go back to the US, reapply. And I'm like, what? What do you mean reapply? And get into school then that way. So how long does that take? Well, it takes you the same amount of time. So it's another year, right? So I have to go back to the US, reapply for the visa in Tokyo, and then go to school in Tokyo. And I'm like, what the hell? And many people have tried, and it can't be done, right? You cannot go to school in Tokyo if you have a visa that's issued. And I checked on my passport, and it says Osaka Prefecture on it. And I'm like, God, I didn't know that was such a big deal. It's not Japan. It's a Japan visa, but it's from the Osaka Prefecture, so I have to be in Osaka to use it, right? I can travel. I can go anywhere in the country, but to go to school, I have to this here. I have to use the Osaka visa. So so the whole idea of going to Tokyo for a job or moving to Tokyo for a job, I'd have to do it on a different visa. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, I try to discuss it. It doesn't matter. I went to immigration. It doesn't matter. I have to restart the whole process. And I'm like, holy cow. So yeah, they're not making it easy for us, right? So yeah, so I don't want to be redoing stuff. My goddamn slides are upside down. Oh well, skip that stuff. Yeah. So Pierre, French guy, you know, who's Watanabe Sensei, doing some kanji. Yeah, yeah. Taking pictures are upside down. That's the weirdest stuff. And some of them are okay. Oh well. So, anyways, so here we are. Here we are in Osaka, trying to figure this out. So it gets really frustrating. That's all I'm saying. It's frustrating. It's hard to get things done. It's different. I'm out of my comfort zone. I'm learning a lot, but hasn't been uh, smooth sailing. Right? Living here has not been smooth sailing. So Jay's a professional photographer from Canada. He's a student here, and he's trying to figure this out too. And it's not easy, right? I think Japan is glorified a lot. The media's and all that. They're really trying to promote this place, and it's great as a tourist. I think it's great as a tourist. If you come here as a tourist for a week, or 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, or a month, whatever, it's fantastic, right? You really get into it, and people take care of you and all that stuff. But the minute you live here, your whole, the whole feel is different, right? You basically have to adapt to their rules. You have to find a job. Yeah, you have to, do their thing. Everything is the same. Like there's so many people here, so they have so many rules. And even on a bicycle, there's a lot of rules. It's difficult. There's so many people here, like and it's 14 million or whatever it is out here. So they have to set up a lot of rules, and they're strict. They're very strict. So even in the bicycle, you have to have your license, and you have to have your permit, and then you have to have, all the other stuff. And then you have to have parking permits, because if you don't, you can get impounded. There's a lot of things that you got to know, and then where to ride and how to ride and what laws do you obey. And it's a challenge, right? It's a challenge. So I was thinking about getting a bike, but now I'm just sticking to walking. Yeah. Uh, there's too many bikes here. Osaka is the town in Japan that has the most bikes. So there's millions of bikes, millions of bikes. There's the parkings in the shopping malls for people for bikes is bigger than the parking for cars. So many places, anyways. So it's kind of interesting. So yeah, so just trying to figure it out has been a challenge, and I do the best I can with the knowledge I got. I learn every day. Right now, I gotta get ready for school, so I'm gonna end up closing the stream shit this stream, and then get ready for school. Get myself a coffee, and then walk to the street, walk to the station, and get ready for school. Get myself a bottle of water, and go from there. Man, my pictures, it's weird. Got to go through one by one and fix them or something. I don't know. There's got to be something I did wrong. So we're gonna have to. That's the apartment I got. So now it's full. Well, it's not full. I got a little bedroom. Then the kitchen is where I'm standing, and then there's a little balcony and a bathroom and kitchen. It's nice, it's nice. It's like 30 square meters, which is very big for here. So apartments here are very small. They're more like 15 to 20 square meters on average. So imagine that. It's like crazy small, I know. So yeah, it works okay. So yeah, friends, local pubs and stuff. You meet all kinds of people and it's fun. But right now I'm in the process of looking for a job. Has not been easy. Has not been easy. And yeah, like I say, it gets to be exhausting not knowing. It gets to be exhausting not knowing where you're going, what the plan is. Yeah, the plan is to learn Japanese, but it'd be nice to get a little bit of feeling of being accepted, right? A job would help. A job would definitely help. Uh, I'm not saying a lot of, I mean, I'd be happy 10 hours a week, right? Just to get pocket money, but also just to be able to socialize, be able to hear people talk, work in restaurants or something like that. So that's where I'm at. Everything else is pretty much set up. The scheduling for school, all my transportation stuff. I still got issues with the banking stuff. It's kind of like right now, one of my banking cards not working. I don't know why. And yeah, so things like that. You're dealing with the stuff, and then I got to do my taxes. I got to do tax stuff for the U.S. So there's a lot of things going on. So, anyways, I haven't checked and see. Yeah, no chat, right? Yeah, yeah. There's nobody listening, so it's okay, right? You do what you can, and I'm just trying to promote myself, trying to get organized and see if I can make something out of here. It's a little journey, it's a challenge at my age, but I'm not tired. I go do my stuff, and everything works out fine. So, and I keep plugging away, and keep doing my stuff, keep believing in what I can do, keep my abilities and all that, and we'll give it a try, right? Give it a try. There's a Oz flying a drone, a 14-year-old kid from the village, Jimmy. Jimmy lives there, so he married a Japanese. He's got a couple of kids. It's awesome. So we'll leave it at that. See if I got yeah, people to meet. Meet people everywhere. They're all happy to see you and stuff. So there's the countryside. It's beautiful. It's quiet, very quiet. So we'll talk. Just wanted to get a few notes and stuff. And like I say, I'm trying to figure this out. Life is a challenge and it's fun, and we'll go from there. Peace.